Okay, good morning, everyone. We'll begin by reciting the opening prayers in the prayer book, starting on page 1. All Mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and all-knowingness, may they experience happiness and be separated from suffering. I will quickly establish them in the state of the most perfect and precious Buddhahood.
Gadai nyambe semche tamche dewa dandem do narada de nyurde lana me bar na barado be jan juren bo she do parja.
Thus, until I achieve enlightenment, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. Until death, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. All sentient beings, limitless as the sky, take refuge in the glorious, kind Lama Vajradhara, the embodiment of the body, speech, mind, qualities, and activities of the Buddhas of the 10 directions and the 3 times, source of the 84,000 categories of the teaching and Lord of the Sammas. We take refuge in the kind root Lama and lineage Lamas. We take refuge in the deities of the mandalas of the Idams. We take refuge in all the exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dharma. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sammas. We take refuge in all the noble Dakas, Dakinis, and Dharma guardians, possessors of the eye of wisdom.
Namgen tadai nyambe semchen tamje choje de samje dijin shekpa dan jeje ku sondo yonde tele tam jeje ngoi jurba joje bongbo tongda Gende tam jeje ngadai tenjen sawa tai jubai jeve barane lama tamba nangla jausen je yadai jingara jela toy nangla jausen je sanje chombe de nangla jausen je
Dampe
gende nangla jausen je boy gendo je jang song me yan so ye ye 见到人把弄了就是觉悟。
Until I attain the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in the Dharma and likewise in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. As the previous Buddhas embraced the enlightened mind and progressed on the Bodhisattva's path, I too, for the benefit of all sentient beings, give birth to bodhicitta and apply myself to accomplish the stages of the path.
Ningpo Jie Wa Sanje Nangla Gyabsun Ji Jodan Chanjo Senpa Ye Zoan Dijin Gyabsun Ji Jeda Moje Derje Ji Chanjo Tone Jipa Dang Chanjo Sembe La Ba La Te Da Rim Shin Ne Ba Da Te Yen Do La Ben Dong De Chanjo Sem Ne Ji Ji Shin De Ne La Ba La Ren Ba Shin De La Ba Ji.
In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings.
Sanje Chodan Zoje Chonam La Chanjo Barada Dane Jobse Chen Dake Chen Soy Jimbe Sonam Je
Brola
Benje Sanje Rupa Sho.
May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness which is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. Refuge of all sentient beings without exception, divine subjugator of terrifying Maras, together with their hosts of demons, the one who understands all realities without exception exactly as they are, transcendent conqueror, together with your disciples, please come here to this place. The ground is sprinkled with scented water and strewn with flowers. It is adorned with Meru, the supreme mountain, the 4 continents, and the sun and moon. As a Buddha field, I offer it. May all sentient beings attain the happiness of the Buddha fields. Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying, for the sake of the enlightenment of all sentient beings, all this I dedicate. And to page 11. Namo, to the Lama of utterly pure appearance and existence, I offer the fundamental ground of appearance and existence. I supplicate you thoroughly to liberate the 3 realms. Please grant your blessings and overturn the depths of samsara. Sublime Master, wish-fulfilling jewel, crown ornament, the inconceivable, inexpressible mind of the victorious ones, the one endowed with the 5 wisdoms of omniscience, gracious one, the embodiment of love, precious protector of beings, I supplicate you from within the essence of mind. Please grant your blessings from within the innate nature. Please bless me that I may realize the Dharmakaya that is beyond intellect, this primordially unborn, completely pure mind, transcendent conqueror, the one thus gone, foe destroyer of afflictive emotions, completely perfected Buddha, endowed with logic and virtue, the one gone to bliss, knower of the world, captain, tamer of beings, the unexcelled teacher of gods and men. I respectfully prostrate, completely touching my head to the stainless feet of the unequaled Shakya king. At the time of your birth, leader of 2-legged beings, taking 7 steps on this great earth, you proclaimed, I am supreme in this world. To you who are wise even then, I prostrate. Possessing a body of complete purity, your sublime form is excellent. An ocean of primordial wisdom, you are like a golden mountain. The one whose renown is evident throughout the 3 worlds, protector of supreme attainment, to you I prostrate. To you who are endowed with the supreme marks, whose face is like an immaculate moon, to you, the one with a complexion like gold, I prostrate. A flawless one such as you among the 3 levels of existence is most exquisite. Unparalleled, omniscient one, to you I prostrate. Supreme among humans, captain of those to be tamed, the one thus gone who severs the all-binding fetters, who with senses pacified is utterly pacified and skilled in peace. To that one, the one who dwelled at Sravasti, I prostrate. Refuge endowed with great compassion, totally omniscient one who indicates the way, ground basis for oceans of merit and qualities, I prostrate to the one thus gone. The pure cause free from attachments, the virtue that liberates from the lower realms, the altogether supreme ultimate truth. To the pacifying Dharma I prostrate. Having been liberated, they also reveal the path to liberation. Thoroughly respectful of the 3 higher trainings, they are a field of sublime qualities. To the Sangha I also prostrate. And to page 9.
Namo Noze Namdai Ge Lama La Noze She Kamso yondara da sorwa de korwa tongzho se jenje lo ye narwa zoge kya masan jome jarve to jenpe ye she ngata den seve dani gade chen Jumze Rinpoche Dasimni Jengane Zorwande
Joni ki
Ngande Chenje Lo Sandone Jime Nandande Lande Shuga Lopare Chenje Lo Jon Dende Jeyen Yeba Rajomba Yanda Bara Zobe Sanje Rekwa Dai Shabzen Denba Dewara Yegwa Jiden Jemba Ajibe Nduwa Kaloi Jorba Lana Meba Lada Me Namye Gomba Nyame Shaji Jarboy Shabji Du Tema Meba La Gowa Rada Dode Gwe Chanza Loi Kanze Ganye Zo Jodan Se and la Gomba Dunwar Ne Ngane Jidan Dana Joje Son Tete Keba Jela Chanza Lo Nanda Gunga Jodo Suzanwa Ye Janzo Serje Lumbo Da Taba Jida Sona Nangewa Gumbo Jonye Jela Janza Lo Senjo Demba Jime Dawe Zendo Dawa Jela Janza Lo Lujere Chuje Seba Somnanze Nyame Jenje Jela Janza Lo Mejo Duwa Kalo Junze Jeng Jora Jingwa Junze Dejen Ye Wangbo Jedan Nye Jela Ke Nyo Shoba De La Janza Lo Gombo Tuje Chedenba Kamche Jembe Domba Po Sona Yonten Janso Shin Nante Ye La Janza Lo Tabe Doja Tewe Ju Ekebe Genson Le Dor Shin Jedo Tondan Jojoro Shijoro Chola Chanza Lo Torne Torve Lang Yang Dong Alaba Dala Rabde Kue Shenge Damba Yang Ye
To page 15. I prostrate to the youthful Manjusri, to those in the worlds of the 10 directions, however many there are, all the lions among humans who appeared during the 3 times. To all of them without exception, I pay homage with respectful body, speech, and mind. The force of my aspiration prayer for excellent conduct brings all the victorious ones directly to mind. Bowing down with bodies as numerous as atoms in the realms, I prostrate to all the victorious ones. In a single atom, there are Buddhas as numerous as atoms. each residing in the midst of their sons and daughters. Like that, I imagine the whole Dharmatatu completely filled with victorious ones. To those with oceans of inexhaustible, praiseworthy qualities, with sounds containing oceans of tones of melodic speech, I express the qualities of all the victorious ones. I praise all the Sugatas. With the finest flowers, the finest garlands, music, ointments, supreme parasols, supreme lamps, and the finest incense, I make offerings to the victorious ones. With the finest cloths, supreme scents, and fine powders equal to Mount Meru, all displayed in supreme and magnificent ways, I make offerings to those victorious ones. With vast and unsurpassable offerings, I venerate all the victorious ones. Through the power of faith and excellent conduct, I prostrate and offer to the victorious ones. Whatever negative actions I have performed with body, speech, and also mind, overpowered by desire, aggression, and stupidity, I confess each and every one of them. I rejoice in everyone's merit, the virtuous ones of the 10 directions, the bodhisattvas or pratyeka Buddhas, those in training, those beyond training, and all beings. I request the protectors, the lamps of the worlds of the 10 directions, who passing through the stages of awakening attain Buddhahood beyond attachment, to turn the unsurpassable Dharma wheel. I supplicate with my palms joined together, those who intend to demonstrate nirvana, to remain for kalpas as numerous as atoms in the realms, for the welfare and happiness of all beings. I dedicate whatever slight virtue is accumulated through prostrating, offering, confessing, rejoicing, requesting, and supplicating to enlightenment. And to page 14.
Jarwa damje yeje ngoson de shenge dunye lura dubaye Jarwa gunla rabde chanse loy duje dena dunye sanje na Sangye zije wuna shoba da chuje yana maluba Adamje jawa dage kongwar mo da ngaba meze janzo na Nyanje yanla janzo dage je jawa gunje yonten rajo jen and there were Yeba Tamche Take to Meto Tamba Tingwa Tamba Tam Silnye Namdai Jube Donjo Tam Marame Chotam Dobo Tamba Ye and Yawa Tedalane Chobaraje Naza Tamba Namda Chencho Tam Kema Purme Rera Nyamba Tam Kobara Chebara Pabe Chokunje and Yawa Tedalane Chobaraje Chobar Kauna Lame Jajewa Teda Jarwa Tamje Layamo Sambo Jula Tebe Dodake Jarwa Gula Chanse Chobaraje Docha Yedan Angada Niji Yije Jang Deba Dage Jeba Jinjeba Ante Da Tangje Dage Sosor Ya Chuje Jarwa Gunta Sanje Se Aranja Nanda Loda Meloda Dowa Gunje Sona Kangla Yang Ante Da Gunje Jese Da Ye Rang Kana Chuje Jeden Romana Changjo Renpa Sanje Maja Nye Gombo Te Da Ge Tamje La Kolo La Na Me Bar Go Bar Ge Nyang Ye Da Dong Kang Ye Te Da La Do Wa Gu La Ten Shin De We Che Ge Wa Shen Ge Du Ni Shou Ba Yang Anda Ge Te Mo Ra Ja So Wa Che Chang Se Wa Da Chu Jin Ya Ba Tong Ji Se Ye Ra Gu Shen So Wa Ye Ge Wa Chung Se Da Ge Che Sa Ba Tam Che So Be Chang Ju Chen Bo Mo.
To page 16. Please turn the wheel of the Dharma of the two vehicles and their combination according to the dispositions and mental capacities of sentient beings.
Oi sem je nam je som ba dang lo ye che da wa a che chong de mo de ba ye chu je wo lo wo lu so. Yamen de gong den chen ku zhao zi wu mi shu jie yin jie po dong de tu song jie gun jie ngu nie rong sum jiu ge gong sum dong zi sa wei lan mei xiao lo ku zhao zi kang da xiao zhe dong bian jie dian na de jie long mu lo jiao wa kang so da dun de zong bie quan jian xiao ren bie ba san bu ran du wa tam jin de ye Namo ya la ye ge dang le dang de ji ge zhong da dang mi ge nam ne ro gen jie da ge jie zang bo tam ji ge de da ge chu de Good morning. Good morning. Tene da ka chang shuwa na yiri tene tene da je tang ga zo tenjorje mulu za chenpo to te to ba zang ma yin bi ke ji nga zo lewan do ban na yi ke ko dewe ke ju drop he ba te dubya ke yang ta yang tene da da nga zo cha chen ji chu to ba che ya yo wa gomba che ya yo wa 지식이 유튼이 요와데 데메시위케 자침보레 텐데 텐데 임발라 임바 히에네 되네 지랑나서 송원에 고지 예스 이랑탕 지 오다디 지 겨옹말라 냐야 노부 치메도스 제 가장 휴가나 일이 지 진소 퍼져 침바 초라서 봐 드니지 땡땡냠네 지요래 다데 마지는 가서 튕겨물에 두고 말와 와 드니지 뭐 제왕고 말다 야고 지샤 삼바텔 가서 지 하코와당 되네 거지 라랑 코 appreciation 뭐지 지고고 요사레스
So then, in general, continuing with the teaching from yesterday, then we should recognize that not only have we obtained this precious human life with its freedoms and advantages, but then furthermore, since we all desire happiness and so forth, we our understanding of the cause of that being the practice of virtue and the Dharma and so forth. And so not only have we obtained this precious human life, but we've obtained the teachings of the Dharma, and we have the opportunity to meditate and practice these Dharma teachings. And so this is a very precious opportunity, very sacred, and it's something that we should rejoice in. And this opportunity to practice the Dharma isn't something that we just randomly happened across, but it is certainly the case that, for example, receiving these teachings on the six paramitas, this is a result of us training in the six paramitas in previous lifetimes. And based on that, we have obtained this human birth. And now we have further this opportunity to not just be born as a human, but to practice. And so with this, we should really appreciate this opportunity that we have for ourselves.
제네 다 제당 가서다 history 거 선노 담비나야 제 투 기치들라 빼나다 마르발라 소비 투zuki 남다 따위나 다 마르발이 대가나 이게 선지 좀 된데게 다 love story 세나리오 투zuki 남다라 따위나 드네지 참내 추데고 카두 년년 된데 용구여서 말에 추 효로가 째기치도요 가와만 지고야 when marvalo santo sono tambine jingone ta phune tini jagar pardo tini homba jamne yongu yorwa tini ta 단단도 오이나 지 모테난도야 요르테 모테난도나 카시스 칼레 카보도 오 tini 인도 대양 tini 지 점생 카리슬라위나 지 추트 자친 보임이 점생들 때네 yongu 요래 추 자친 보임이 점생 하고네 yongu yorwa 어티인들이 지금 맞서 단다디 고추대야 지 단다 년야가 고갑 라나 소소케 냠년체 고갑 아유와디 응원에 전에 자치무 차디오레스
So if we look into the history of the Dharma, and we look at the life stories of previous Dharma masters, for example, we look at the life and liberation of the translator Marpa, or we even read the life story of the Buddha Shakyamuni, then we see that the Dharma wasn't something that just was everywhere and was always easy to find. In fact, if we look at the life stories of previous Dharma practitioners, we find that sometimes it was even difficult for them to hear a single verse of the Dharma. And so if we take, for example, the life story of the translator Marpa, who lived 1,000 years ago, for him to receive the Dharma, he had to walk all the way by foot from Tibet to India multiple times. And so if we think about even just this one example of travel, these days to even drive a car along that route is a pretty crazy car drive. And you really need certain resources and so forth to be able to traverse that distance by car. And so to do this by foot, to travel and undergo such hardship to just receive Dharma teachings was what these previous masters did. And so now, we don't have to do all this. but we still have the opportunity to receive the Dharma. And so recognizing the preciousness of this Dharma in this way, when we listen to the Dharma, when we practice the Dharma, we should just really not just take it for granted, but realize how precious this opportunity is.
어다 디인도 라나스서 또왔지. 근데 대가나 얘기다 추체야게다 타블람 마모지 요버리 디인도 나 디인다네 다지 디 참바당 닝제스야데 베 개체모시우 차디요서레스.
And so, in this way, we should delight and rejoice and really be joyful that we have this opportunity to really connect with and practice the Dharma. And so, when we approach the Dharma and follow the different paths of methods of the Dharma, in particular, the practices of love and compassion are very important.
어다 디인도 다 대양아 저더니 지 참바다 닝지제야라다 개탕 스비스베 나서 구미야 요래 참바 구미야 요래 다조 아마라 때네 랑 제와 요사 칸 요와 텔레 때네 근데 텔레양 공원에 이게 텔레양 때네 참바지에 토비나 근데 좀 바신도 고 직자 체리체리 당 심thiên 탐지래양 참바 구미야 니요로와 인다 디고 단다 디텐도 먹고 지 디인도 당아서
So, when we talk about the practices of love and compassion, on one hand, there are specific practices related to love and compassion in this tradition. For example, when we meditate on love, one of the methods is to start by thinking about the love that we have for our own mothers and the appreciation that we have for our own mothers, and slowly then recognizing that all sentient beings throughout the universe have been our mothers at some point, then expanding our love that we have for our current mothers to all mothers, sentient beings without exception. And so in this way, we cultivate love for all sentient beings. And so this is one way to kind of meditate. This is a method.
There we go to shortcut. shortcut 가리세나 당원이 지 ngazuke 소던 쓰임이나야 그 메인바 직바임바 봐 대하고 그 그래서 이 양도 몸고기 살았어.
The ngaso suyana me.
Meris. What means?
So, as a shortcut, we can think when we meditate that whoever we meditate on, all of us, we're all people. We're all humans.
Do you understand?
Maybe not completely. We're all in the same boat, right? Yeah. So there's some equanimity to our situation.
Right. So we same way, so we really is that what is different, so we are human beings. So have to understand we are human beings. So human beings, same way, we want to happy, same thing. We don't want to suffering. So that is very, very kind of important. But shouldn't expecting, same ideas, That's no way. Then da 가르치 있잖아. ngazobe 직바 직장 직 갈세 거래 따와 직바임바 곰바 직바임바 삼수 직바임바 근데 영향 그런 요 말이 스텔 expecting 제야 요 말이 스텔 거 normal is.
So then, although we are all the same as people, as humans, to think that we're all going to have the same view, to think that we're all going to have the same meditation, to think that we're all going to think the same way, It doesn't work that way. Um, people aren't like that. That's a mistake.
Right, so we have these afflict emotions. So individually it's kind of different, you know. So if we equally, yesterday we talking about the collection karma, equally is born in the God realm. So in the God realm, because there are no afflict emotions, I think God realm is like, I think, I'm not sure exactly, I'm not sure, but according to tags, in the God realm is just everything is same, sort of same age. They're not aging. And everything's beauty and there's kind of same. So same idea, because there are no afflict emotions, like everybody have joy, happy, that's thing, you know. What I think in the tang azo telayang ko samsu mantuya tawa mantuya de ko normal is the younger is tela ko samgong maris.
So because of that, then we do end up having different types of modes of thinking. We have different views about things and different ways of dealing with things. And so we don't really, it's kind of a mistake to think that we're all going to think the same. So we don't need to, really worry too much about that.
Right, so this also this condition, you see. So we're thinking the impossible. So we go, looks like, even though you live in house not individually, your different house, different location, house is not exactly the same. So, and the distance is different. So some have small house, some big house, whatever, some shorter, some distance. So that is all normal. So that's why all people, some different ideas, different concepts. So that's okay. That's everything is just natural, normal, you know. So main thing that kasina matsochi. Me yimba ji ha kona, tene rangla tsewa karayowa, rawa rangla kandi ji shatsa yowa tela, tene kambo ti ko rang shatsa siki yu choga jeme yin binare, ji pama yinare tele chi. Te jigbo ma yimba, tene ngone pena particular ngone china tanda nga so labgore, pena choso na dengen do ina ta, ngone Dhamma brother sister labgore, ngone re, ta ngone china jig ben hata ke jig sister the brother za che yorwa ben ngone china hata ta ke karse gora pa da male tene ngachu di za che yore khar za che yore slavina ngachu di ben cha shavina thanda chu nyamla chine tene jig sangha members ya tela ko jigdi brother inari sister labu yonari pama labu yonari khan deri thi ko chik sam maje par de go da nyam tan ro go da yin jik ta thanda phama cha chen bori thine phama cha chen ko chen de ma do phame za de yo ma re thine jik ta thanda nga cho ke chwa ji men do yin bi na ya ko chwa ji men di ya ko chen de ma do nyam jo ya yo ma ba yin na yang ta ko jik relation ya bo yo wi na ko jik che wa che ma yang ko nyam te yo da ma se wa da ma re
So then, when we think about then love, we can think about the love and sympathy that we have for our own situation, and we can expand that to those around us, to those that are close to us. We can think about our, parents, our family, and not only that, but for example, those of us in this Dharma center, this Dharma community, um, we can think about, our Dharma brothers and our Dharma sisters. And so one thing about this, um, when we talk about brothers and sisters and so forth, we talk about those that we have a genetic, relationship with, those of our flesh and blood. And our Dharma brothers and sisters or Vajra brothers and sisters aren't necessarily, from the same parents or same family, so we might not share the same, flesh and blood or genetics and so forth. However, in some ways, uh, our connection with our Vajra family, our Sangha, is even more profound than our connection with just our ordinary, family that we were born into. This is because our connection with our Sangha, our Vajra brothers and sisters, our Vajra fathers, our Vajra mothers, and so forth, these are people that we are going to work with and practice with and learn from, not only in this lifetime, but all the way until we reach enlightenment. We have aspirations to connect with them and to study and practice together. And a lot of times, our fathers and mothers, our brothers and sisters of flesh and blood, our husbands or wives, boyfriends, girlfriends, and so forth, they can just be people that we are only interacting with in this lifetime. But our Sangha is a community that we are connected to all the way until we reach complete enlightenment.
我的听的别那那么家啦的呢他几tamju senari的呢他听的用不多哦他提高了的呢几他拍了变的大伊那的几家给他出头比那的哦他做长嘛那样的呢把长个去了接把连着个都是拉不多我的听的印度他听的记录他拍了我呢听的接把连起呢的呢接把连样的了样呢的呢这他普那了那么要么不太有的第一个了普的为什么呢我们呢记得南巴谁呀他刚这个有么了哇啊他 before 的中山干部你那样我提高了我得了就我接话的连有被中山的了点呢长眉给南巴的了同样有啊南北出哈个话听的起呢的呢差的有的是第一的他先为本来前两天我什么当兵那样他前两天介绍的阿美国的前两天帕马的时候南巴马拉瓦因那样前两天去 some reason 的点呢去同样用呀去是吧去过什么呀去yang samle la ko wacha yung do wacha di chu tha khoya cho ji de pe ga le khabo ro language kha ha de tradition kha ha de yin na yang thona yo de ko je wa ngom la ten ten ko ji chu ji khne hi yu wi jum sen de ten ne ta na nga to chu che ya ke ko nyam tun zum ya ta chu che ya de tin ji cha di yo des
So, in this way, in previous times, in the ancient land of India, it's said there's kind of this saying. The story is that back in the day, there were at the time when there were great panditas, these scholars, and great mahasiddhas, and so forth, roaming the land, that they made aspirations that in the future they would be born in the north and they would take birth.
Aspiration though inside in the cause some reason maybe the aspirations or probably yeah, but
Okay, maybe not particular aspirations, but they kind of had this awareness that they would be born in the north, and it was kind of this thing. And so based on this, these practitioners and scholars and so forth, they did take birth in Tibet. And because of that, from the time of Songtsen Gampo on, before the time of the emperor or the great ruler Songtsen Gampo, who was maybe 1300 years ago, there really wasn't Buddhism in Tibet. But then after the time of Songtsen Gampo, Buddhism spread and flourished throughout Tibet. And it was these beings that took birth, that came from India, that spread the Dharma throughout Tibet, so that every person throughout Tibet came to know the Dharma, and that Tibet became famous for the Dharma. And so in the same way, all of you here in the US, a lot of you were born in the US, Western countries, and so forth. And you weren't born into, in general, families that were Buddhist. And, you might not have a connection through your flesh and blood to, the Buddhist teachings and so forth. However, everyone here has an interest in Buddhism, and all of you have had, felt some reason, felt some inspiration to want to connect with these teachings and practices. And not only that, many of you have a very deep connection with the Dharma, and really it has become one of the main things in your life that you have made persevered to study and to practice. And so this didn't just come about because of some random reason. And so even though you may have taken birth here in the States or in the West or other countries, still there is a deeper pattern that is manifesting.
Karmic connection, maybe na ngazo nyam tun zomi ake ko heyo mare khatsang la imba majiba la minti la rwa thambo ngoma ji le sa maybe na ngazo theya ko hekora yo mare yina ngazo ngome ke le ji sa yo jimsen tele tene ta thanda ya ngazo chik nyam tun zom nyam tun nyamna cheya yo ade tene ji chadi yores.
So in this way you can see the connection of causes and effects. Our karma that we have accumulated in previous times has resulted in this situation where we have come together and we are meeting and studying and so forth. And so this is really not just some random circumstance, but it is the direct manifestation of our karma.
Tela imba khatsang nyati majiba la minti la imba ngazo ngoma la purvis leji sa mena ngazo thanda de la yong maris ina ta ko ngazo ji jewa ngoma la leji sa yu jumsen tele tene ta thanda ngazo nyam tun zom yores.
So this would not
yesterday saying right, so karma.
So this is connected with the teaching yesterday about karma. And so if we did not have the karma in previous lifetimes, if we did not create the basis for this, we would not all be gathered together.
So I think you guys the easy traveling to hear this in the US, right? How is easy?
I mean, some of us live in a neighborhood, so we just can walk here.
No.
Oh, sorry.
No. I said if you are in the Tibet or some India, you're Dharma practitioners, right? Previous life. Then you're traveling here. I said you are easy to traveling here. You understand? You mean just to a new birth? Yeah. Right. Right. So the consciousness, this go one moment, you okay. So something reason, okay, you whatever you're thinking, you want born, whatever your pardo, okay, right? Your pardo. So something karmic connection arise. So okay. So you see something parents. You can traveling seconds, you get there, US. So like me, I how much walk, from Tibet to past the Himalayas, and then these problems, visas, and then we got airplanes. That's much harder than You guys.
Right, we just we,
Consciousness.
right, we just died and showed up here. You might have to walk.
Right. So, but stay together, so that's
Well, I
We
visited for a few miles south.
right.
right. So yeah, this consciousness can go really easy. So they said the pardon consciousness is you can go once like within 1 second. Whatever you remember, okay, right now you like pardon here, whatever somewhere you died or and then you went to born or India, Bodh Gaya, whatever. Just you think Bodh Gaya, that's it, you already be there. So
no free will.
no
free will.
right. 어때 인도 다 데려다 근데 인도 가서 단기 공투가 나기래 제가 또 단기 파마이나 저 단다디 러프디 파마래 단다디 초가제메나 디 라이프 초가제메라와 이나 다침보리 델리양 가서 다 상감 멤버라고 써놓다나 가서 담보네 제지나 제반데 많이 제 뭐뭐 인식이라와 어다 근데 제게 가서 때네다 남은 보러 달라고나 시스템하고나 그리지 차디오레스
So then just going back to, having love for those close to us, of course, having love for our mothers and fathers, having love for our, partners and family, of course, they are special and it is important that we love them. But then also for our Dharma brothers, our Vajra brothers and sisters in the Sangha, we have not just a connection in this lifetime, but we should understand that we have a connection from previous lifetimes as well. And so when we think about our Sangha and our community, it's appropriate to have a particular love and appreciation for them.
데니다 델레양 같다 그 칼고기 요래 슬라비나 맞아 제와제 고고다 제와티 그 제와티 가르세나다 그직 unconditional 파르조티 게치가 뭐 지기 요나리 직다완 요 직파이나리 직파 메나리 가르세나 그 제와티 왜 까라 그 가르세나 직 틀라 펜도 용와 제와 요와도 수이나야 그때 아틀라 티비나 되네 가서다 참바차기요래 니예차거래 저와 든디제기 동안라 야 레비나 되네 고 장저 셈세야 돼 고지 되네 레라오가 범투고요레스.
So what do we need? We need love. And what kind of love? Unconditional love. And so even though we don't always have the same view as others, even though we don't always, have the same style of thinking, when we have love to whoever, it's always beneficial. So whoever it is, if we have love for them, if we have compassion for them, if we wish for them to have happiness and be free from suffering, then this is always going to be beneficial all around. And the more that we can have love and compassion for everyone, the easier it is for us to cultivate the enlightened mind of bodhicitta. Bodhicitta becomes quite easy when we have love and compassion.
되네 제와 요나 제와다 케어요. 아달라다 원에지 제와다 되네 지 케어 지기 요나 되네 고 참삼로지 이네야 고디지 나와만 두반다고다 되네 요비네야 되라 느바히라 요 말이스. 고 담보 제와 요라 봐. 고 작섬 요레 제와 요레스. 이나 네캅라오지 투기 미비나야. 고티 고 제와티 좀 센들라 고지 드만두 와들라 든디 백디어 책 말봐.
So when we have a love that is really, when we really care for others, then even though sometimes might arise where we have disagreements and we don't think the same way, still, if we really have love and care for others, then there really isn't a lot of negative harm, because that love and care is more powerful than that temporary disagreement and disharmony. And so it becomes minuscule and non-consequential when we really have true love and care for others.
다 참리 틴디 요리 고지 초가지면도 틴디나 베 tum보다 찍찍라 항상야 그때와 요나 이나 건지 캔디날데디 코디스티 투파노 용스기와 투바 자기 요리스 이나 투바 잡나 투바텔라 코라지 원에 지질 리프레시 지아노지 마토비기 틸레야 코니춘도 칸요 마리스 코다 네캅다 투바노 자직 딕미도 춘딕미도 랍스기와
So, for all of us, with those that we are close to, our family members, our, partners, husbands, wives, boyfriends, girlfriends, and different people that we have, strong connections with, it is the case, sometimes temporarily disagreements arise and there is some conflict and quarreling. However, if we really have a deeper underlying care and love and compassion, then these temporary, disagreements can be cleared away and refreshed, and we don't need to always just hold on to, you did this and that wasn't good, and you did this and that wasn't good, and so forth. And when we have a deeper, stronger underlying care and love, then these really aren't that big of a thing, and we can go beyond and refresh our connections.
But I don't know, so that is work or no? So yeah, they sincerely, love each other. So then this temporary whatever, this really not really last long, So I think sort of like I think I was young, so Tibetan not much, I don't know, so this does not fight. But one family, so actually this, I think the husband is not that good, but. So really interesting thing is just some reason we just neighbors, See, first day he yelling him, husband, or did this and that, or you did whatever, of course, right, so many things can say. Then we have said, oh, are you leaving? Okay. So actually he goes, so they have many children. Oh, no, not yet. I need to wedding my daughter, Daughter is maybe take care of the animals. But anyway, he just counted maybe 50 feet or whatever. He go there, couple of minutes, not a couple of minutes, maybe, I don't know, 20 minutes. Oh, do you want tea? So I go cook something. He bring to, this, he bring to husband their tea. So that's kind of like, first he said, oh, yeah, you table, what is the fight? I'm leaving. So, so I thought it looks like refresh. Then the later is maybe this more closer. Sort of like that day. I don't know, long run, but. So anyway, so, Nina, what I'm going to do, Tindike, ko tsewa ji gugu yosares. Tsewa yubina, tsewa sayadi, samji mija vek nupa yores.
So, in this way, what we need is love, and love really has inconceivable power.
Tini, ta ngara ge ngone da wasa mo tang mi na yang, jikta chirang so katsam sang molam jabro chi jik na gido, jik gido la molam jagi yore. Ko tsamre molam ti jabdu pengi yo wado yore. Ina pengi yo wade kare la vina, jik ngarang la yang, jik karse de te ta, totang nupa tang, tindi yobi kecha mare. Ina nge tu ju do su yinbi na yang ko ngone jik ta sincerely wa. Tini jeke ko jik laksan namda ta jik yakbu kongso yakbu yung na. 야보 용쇼 선비 모나 잡이거래 야보 용쇼 선비게 다티 기생기 유리 요래 근데 요비 중산들 때네 지게 되니 모나 주는 보지 잡이 요다다 미나다 칸다리야 고지 네 갑더니 팽이요 와 팽하게 중산들 됐어
So, Drupon says that he prays for people. People ask him for prayers and so forth, and he does pray. And although he might not have the power to just completely change, utterly transform everything instantaneously. Really, when
yeah that's kind I don't have the power
people ask, can you help this situation? Can you make things better in my life, or these different relationships or situations? But he might not have power to completely transform everything instantaneously. However, when we sincerely have an altruistic attitude, a pure intention that people, find, happiness and so forth, and then that pure intention is something that is real, and it is beneficial, and so there is this way that we can help each other.
So 제가 나기 답변한 거죠. 다 페이로와 배나 야가로 인데 나상도 협찬치로 질라부요리 네 협찬이 빼바시 팬송라부요와 이나 뒤인데 제가 나기리 가 누파치에 타니고 팽기요 말이스 이네 양 나랑 그 모티베이션과 군롱 telako 100% 파일지 팬바다 세완다고 tindi yiyorwa tindi yobi jumsentel tene ti nupek tene pengiyo sares.
So in this way we do like long life prayers and so forth for teachers in India and other
Yeah,
people.
basically the families.
Families and different people like that. And although we might not have the, Drupon is saying, you might not have the power to just, miraculously transform, outer situations instantly, still, when we have, a pure motivation and love for those in our, homelands and so forth, then that love, really does have a power and strength that can manifest in a beneficial way.
Mm-hmm. So that is so also this we thinking so this yes there is power, but it really is the power or the energy is in love sincerely. That's the tremendous power. So also I was so kind of my learning is the different things, but also focus I practice sincerely to thinking about others unconditionally and equally. So that seems to be the powerful. So also, like for instance, I was probably I think I don't know. So there's so I did like 6 years disciplinarian. So there were different monks, so all sorts of things, challenges. But I think that I said the single monk, whatever, no matter they did, different things, or we said bad things, whatever. I never ever did a report to holiness, single monk. So because if I report to that monk, so this report to holiness and something, so how upset, So that's why I don't want to. This is whatever I can do, this, say, strongly, smoothly, whatever, or give some punishment, I do. But I never report. I think most they do, actually. They do everything, recover difficulties. They're not dealing with that person. So just go to holiness. Oh, he doing this, he doing this, he doing this. So maybe holiness, also holiness, amazing. He's just, okay, but sometimes 2-3 times, oh, he's doing this, and holiness, even though he's maybe not pay attention, yeah, maybe okay. But 3-4 times doing the same person, then holiness said, so people that asked, oh, so that bad, that's whatever monk or this very upset. So that's a kind of so I say in this, so our Sangha members or whatever, just we not only Sangha members, so we love and compassion is equally, So that's your real compassion or real love or unconditional, So, but somebody you give to good things and then you get compassion. That's not really compassion. You really love to them. You just kind of take care. That's not real compassion. Sort of like, I don't know, the ordinary compassion. So we are Dharma practitioners, not necessarily, okay, give things, like help them, everybody. Yeah, we cannot help everybody, not ability to help, But you mentally, you can. So that's why you blocked you influence others, even though they're negativities. So you sincerely love, you sincerely cares, then you're okay. Like for instance, your child, many mistakes, doing you said doing opposite things. You're okay, right? Yeah. So even though I said the monks, so interesting, sometimes difficult. He said, okay, you go this one, you do this, right? So I talked to, I can. He just different way. 1 second. So same thing, just kind of like thinking about, so also most is we create on, we can look the object and then so judgmental on thing, that person is good or bad. So just kind of really not that person, but then on create. So think, oh, that's good, you did this or this, whatever this, or maybe you can say, oh, this good person, you create. Or this person is bad. Mostly you create. But also this interesting, so we sometimes upset, right? Upset, or he's saying this, upset, he's doing this upset. But really it's this on mind, on perception. So like I think good example is, so that kind of East Tibet mostly Kambas. So it's really, really best friends, okay? So best friends, really like more than, like brothers. So cares. So there, so maybe visit, your friend, come. So then the saying is, so actually this kind, I don't know, maybe not using the Westerners, I think. But Tibetan said this paro saju, means you're just kind of you are eater your father's body or something. That's kind of bad word, very bad word, right? So then he's calm, right? His best friend. So then he said, okay, so this, why you come here? Like saying bad things, like I said, yes, you eat or your father's body. But he's just kind of enjoy, like almost he cry. But he's saying that, so the other is similar, So there's no issue, you see, the saying things, bad things, but nothing. But however, if you really fight or something, right, you see that's word. That's it. Just whatever they do, like. But kind of depending perceptions. And then also same thing, like sometimes I think here, I don't know, sometimes it's really good you see the friends said this, just kind of pushing or hitting them. Why doing this, But there's nothing, right? Otherwise, no picking anything. But you fight almost like this little bit. Oh, you hit me, you did this, you did this. Nothing feels, but look like you just kind of poking through your body, something like that. So that's actually we thinking about, Dharma is how it's like really things create on things, So I think so, yeah. So that's maybe too much now. That in that's all because now got so there was here till you not in it. Short change Davina, but there was here till reality. The Karsana, the best protection, Charlie, always.
So, in this way, the main important point here is that when you really have sincere love deep down, though it might look a little strange or interesting on the outside, if you really are coming from a place of sincere love, then that's really the best protection of all.
That in the Katan Kont Huba Nagiri, not a Jimba Chimbari, that's all Jimba Sayatela, a jig not a Jimba Tamatela, Jigawa Junchas Yuba, Sundutine, Jignato Gavatela, Thornroya Mewa, Penajik Choto in our Porjig no Tidijik, not so Higrawa. Yine Yanko Gavati here, Majota, Tiliti, Kitchen Buddhist, Katan Huyorwa, there is.
So then, continuing with the 6 paramitas, the 6 perfections, yesterday we talked about, in particular, the first perfection of generosity in more detail. And in particular, when it comes to generosity, it's particularly skillful to engage in an act of generosity that has a sustained, continuous benefit. For example, when we are generous towards a spiritual practice community or supporting a Dharma center, then for example, there becomes this continuous merit, this rolling merit that goes on and on when we support such an kind of community with generosity.
That Nipade, not a Tutemji part of the Chimbas. That day, not a Kitchis.
So then, next, there is the second of the 6 paramitas is the paramita, the perfection of discipline. And this is very essential. This is key in importance.
The Kazanga Hubere, that Tamboti, Mutama Zama Imba, Yabo Imba, Nyomomba Mewa, Mistake Mewa, Tini Yomaris, Kazan Huana Ye, Kissy mistake Tini Mimi, not so better young Yamachigo Yomarwa. Tindu, not so mistake Yowa, John Yowa, Tini, no to Yowa, or that Tini Chine, Tini da Teha Kone, Tini.
So, as Drupon talked about yesterday, For everyone to be great and wonderful, perfect, never make any state or mistakes, never do anything wrong, never think the wrong thing, never say the wrong thing. To have that kind of a situation is something that doesn't exist here in the human realm. Beings like that aren't born in the human realm. They experience pure realms and so forth. So that's basically impossible here. However, so we should understand that we do make mistakes. We do have faults. We do err in our ways in life. However, with this understanding that we're not always perfect, practicing with this, then we can progress.
Like for instance, during the Buddha time, Sanje Gala, Saminga Liching and Mambo Yoris, Pamazinken Yore, Tigana Yike, Ben Angulimala, Home Pechakaride, Sumjare, Kanda, Tendi Messingan Yore, Yori, the Yinayang. So Sanji Wata Chance of Dubure Chance of Ben Masita, Hansan Miguel Momochita Sha, Ben Sami Billy Chicha, that young Mari Labuminova, Sanji on degree, that chance of Juchu Chico, Yapachi Hosen,
So, for example, at the time of the Buddha Shakyamuni, there were people who were, had committed the worst of all possible acts, the negative deeds with immediate consequence, it is said. For example, there were those that killed their own fathers and mothers.
Yeah, heinous crime. So, heinous crime.
Heinous, yeah, the heinous crimes. And in particular, there was one person called Angulimala who would wear the fingers, I believe, the finger bones of everyone he had killed, and killed hundreds and hundreds of people. And just the worst of all, serial killers and so forth. But when the Buddha met with Angulimala, he didn't just say, "Oh, you were, the worst sinner, the worst type of person. You're, destined to go to hell. I want nothing to do with you. Get out of here." Like, the Buddha didn't say that. Instead, the Buddha said, this is the time now to confess. And these negative deeds have all these consequences, and so this is what you can do to free yourself from this negative karma. So the Buddha even took Angulimala under his care.
And also, like for instance, Malarepa in the Tindi, Tanda Malarepa's Koran, Tamade, go Hemas Charity, Monechina, Malarepa Yabos on Motambina, Koran, normal personally, Behansa do yoris, Malarepa Koran Labra, Koran Kalars, Jima Loma Jekitine, Koran la Ketchetio, Tiore. Oh, Choran be special Risha Choranda, be Jik money. Nyamano, Hinachuk Sanje, the Chanchop Simbik, emanation in the inside lab the Tine, Malarepa Koran Lab Yorba. Chona Tinde Labna Chula Loctaris. Ngangoni China Chu Madovina, Nabe emanation partial horse. Nabe Nyarwandong a magic days.
So even the life story of Milarepa, if we look closely, Milarepa, if we judged Milarepa by ordinary, standards these days, Milarepa was a bad person, and killed numerous people. And so one of Milarepa's students later in life, said to Milarepa, you are such an incredible master, so enlightened. You must be the emanation of, the Buddhas or great bodhisattvas of the past that, came out of compassion to, help us sentient beings. And, Milarepa said to that student, well, you actually have a false, wrong view about the Dharma, because actually, when I was younger, I was the direct opposite of any Buddha emanation. I was a being that had done so many terrible things. I was destined to go to hell.
오다 틴디 인두다 테레 이나 양다 카르스나 조 카르스나 쫑노 주데 용거와 이나 양다 수템시야 티가나 다 주주치야라 주주치야 요레 베나 디파자샤위나 디파장야 요레 뭐 상보지 이나 뭐 상보지 치토금이나 상보치야 요르바 베나 가서 딘지 캔디나나 내가 카리나야 쫑한테 빠야 요레 되네 롭도 거래 human beings 야 되게 치토그레 송도와 고도보양아 치토고래 야고양아 치토고요래 텐디고 마토비야 칸요메 depending 치타마지 드라레버레스 마토비 카리치나 드롭투고와 베나 탄다베 남나나 로고요래 담라 치기도 티칭에 후메빙요와
So, so then in short, though, when it comes to faults and mistakes and so forth, the key instruction is that we should have discipline. We should strive to have discipline. And so it is the case that we make mistakes and we do negative actions. However, we can confess those with remorse and strive to not do those again. And we can do positive actions. It's not the case that if we've done a negative action that we can never do a positive action. It is the case as humans that we do negative things, but then it also is the case as humans that we can do positive things. This is something that humans have the capacity. We have the capacity for non-virtue. We have the capacity for virtue. It's not the case that, humans exist in a way where, even though they've done some negative things, that they can't turn that around and do positive things. We can't say that. It might be the case that, somebody, has their own personal journey of figuring out how to change their actions and so forth. But as humans, we have that capacity when we have discipline.
Right, so this is a reality, so like for example, so your mistakes, so right, or I mistakes, I did, nobody give me, so then I can change it because I did, like I did like negative things, I did myself, but then I can change, I can positive. By my hand, not others. No need wait for recourse or no. You can change. You do maybe sometimes mistakes. Yes, you did. But then you can change your hand actually. Or today's tinita tindu ngatoda that chutem siya songbolda katang 추 세야 되지 템 세야지 오르와 다추 세야 되라 가스나 야보 리얼리티 추 상보로 추데 디 토라테네 네데와텔라 테네 추템 라고도와 당원이 지는지 레귤레이션도 윈사마리 룰도 윈사마리 원에 지 야보 가나 네바텔라 추템 라고요사리
So thus, we have what we can call discipline. And so the word for discipline in Tibetan is sultram. And so sul is, we can think of as like the way. And so in this context, we can think of it as the good way. And trim, we can think about that as, adhering to the good way. Or following the good way,
or remaining, or whatever,
or abiding, remaining within the good way. And so, Sotram discipline in this context isn't just a set of rules and regulations, a law, so to speak, but it is a way of, it is abiding within, a positive mode of being.
Tene tega na ida tsutem se ya tela. Tene that pena jimba la so ba tene tambi na yang tsutem na leg ma de sta ko step by step ro wa. Tendu da tsutem de ke chimbo re raison re.
The jimpa la sopa.
Jimba ro ta sha na tsutem na. Tene ya jimba de ko kita nipa hira yo ma des ko ya step da next step ro go ko jimba ta yime parar chimbina tene tsutem go yo des.
So then, in this way, discipline is a key step in the practice of the 6 paramitas. If we just, have generosity, but then we do not accompany that by having discipline in addition, then that generosity can have much less benefit.
Ta tsutem de la ta so nyamlen che ya practical karlawi na ma tsu nyene yela dun se ya ji yo des.
So then, in terms of practical, the essential practice of discipline, then there are the 7 branches of kind of the close abiding.
Ogoska ro misare. Ten da jeti dun karsena gelong pamani getu pamani genyen se yo des. Gelong pamani gelong pa pamani gelong ma omare ma gelong pamani getu pamani genyen pamani tene nyene se ya ji yo des.
Nyene sena.
Nyene se na ta ko nekap domba se ya tela.
So maybe I could rephrase that. For the essential practice of discipline, there are the 7 different types of kind of commitments, in terms of time frame. And so in the 7 different types of commitments, we have the fully ordained vows for the men and women. And then we have the novice vows for men and women, so that's 4. And then we have the lay people vows for men and women, so that's 6. And then we have the 7th is kind of temporary vows and commitments.
Wada tieni da nga tsu tandan ro samo damda genyen pamacha di yo des da.
So then, for most of everyone here, the male and female lay people vows are, what we strive to uphold.
Da ti na ne da nga tsu zo da song go ya di nga tsu da jitan de genong ina getsu ina genya zawa ti cha da zawa he de song go yo des.
Dinang the gelong.
Bena gelong ina getsu ina zawa he da yo ni da ko gelong de getsu mar ro bro ba. Ina lay people da to sama da gelong phama ina genya phama ina getsu phama ina to sama da ko zawa root do chi kwares. Tene ko genyen getsu pama dang gelong pama to tene ko branch ma yo.
So really the vows of the male and female lay practitioners are really the basis, and the vows of the novice, monks and nuns, and then the fully ordained monks and nuns, then those build upon the lay practitioner vows.
Yeah, base is same, so all the monks, all lay practitioner. So this root is same. So this the holy order, branches more, but so root that root the kasanda ngateri. So machuya, majiba, loriem, then Taxicans, what a channel.
So the 5 root vows for male and female lay practitioners, which are the basis, for all the levels of vows, are first not to cut the life force of sentient beings, so to not kill beings. The second is not to steal. The third is not to tell lies or be dishonest. The fourth is to not engage in sexual misconduct. And then the fifth is to not become intoxicated.
That jeta mamboji tuguyorwa, tinita jeta so juwatela yanda, jeta megewa chia zo latane, ji yang gulon, tene ji ne tu yu tama tene, ko jik sokchu tela manda yosares.
So then there's a lot that goes into, these, abstaining from these different negative actions. And for example, if we look at the 10 virtues, the first of that is to not kill. And within that, not killing, there's multiple elements there. One of the elements is to, not have an intention, or, part of the act of
Whether
killing.
there's tension or not.
Yeah, to whether or not there is an intention to kill. And then, the situation and time, that one, has idea to kill, and whether or not, one has a specific object or, other being that one is in this context, thinking about killing and so forth. And so there are, multiple aspects that go into a full activity of, a full negative action, in this case, killing a sentient being.
Oh, tine ta tina netine jetang ngaso tan tela imba. Ta ne gulon ta to gulon da le bare. Ji gulon te yang tine simchen de la ji yang na rang ji bu ke chi to ma yin ba hian ge chi to wo dang. Yang te ga na ji ta ngaso survive ro. Ben na ji ngone khala sa ya me wa. Tene ro chi na tene de ba chung yo sa des.
So, for example, then, even though there are these different, elements of, where an activity takes place and time and so forth, a lot has to do with our intention. And, it can be the situation, for example, where even though there is a sentient being and we take, their life, if, for example, we have no food and we are going to starve, and we are hunting and kill a sentient being because we have no other options to survive, and we are trying to survive not only for ourselves, then the negative consequences of taking a life in that situation are different than if we just, kill others kill beings for other reasons.
Tene ta jatang ke kina nga apchenu yina yang ta ti na ne ko ji taxi kendi 다 두켜 차디요레스.
Dichang no so.
음.
So, we can perhaps go into more detail in the afternoon, but within these five, in many ways, the intoxication can be the worst of these.
So you know some stories. So that story, that's interesting story, okay? Then 자와지 요레스.
So in this story, there was, once upon a time, there was a monk.
Then magic talk 요레스. magic talk 요레스. magic 마케메지 요레스. 게메티 기타 뭐 창지 키요레스. 라지 키요레스.
So once upon a time, there was a monk, and he met a person, and that was a woman. And the woman had a goat, and the woman had some beer.
Then 다 뭐 칼라워서 와타가 저랑 인치미니 가라지 nga 도바지 니 지구도 nga 로바지 지구도 슬라비오레스. 게메티.
So the woman said to the monk, I really have this, request, this wish, I need you to do something for me.
So then the options theories. Option 카테고스나 다 양아마다 나라니 대화지 최고 슬린데. 대친 디그레스. 양아마나 좀 라다가 제로치스. 다 양아마나 좀 찬스 동라비오레스.
So she said, to fulfill my wish, I would like you to do at least one of three things. So you have some options. Option number one, in Tibetan it's called have a connection. But you're right. As Ralph would interpret, hook up. Have a physical connection. And so option number two is you help me kill this goat. Option number three, or you could have some of this beer.
Tene koran ko tati ta tene ko dewa cheya da zo da ta te ngone ko root don't found o cha de those ta razina sentiensi ta digim those. Something ko chang tong yodes.
And so the monk said, well, for us to hook up is against my monastic vows. It's a root downfall. I can't do that. And also, for me to kill this goat is also a great downfall. I can't do that. So, where's the beer? I'll just have some beer.
Tene ko chang tong tene rasa te ko razi concentrate wa chi yorwa.
So he drank the beer and he got drunk, and then they hooked up.
And killed the goat.
And then he killed the goat. Got hungry and killed the goat.
So that's story, but actually these two. So toxicant is the most like a negative. So because there was the not really only alcohol, I think. So whatever drugs these days. 티 갈 속이올라나? 근데 고지 선바템 뭐 속이올와. 라마메 뭐 속이올와. When a social no in a tactic so you some of the your co-carson functioning your mental functioning your day that necessary in a cola in but engage survive in a day because some of the yorwa. Yin a young coach taxi can take some of my camera channel.
So, that's just a story, but this type of
Actually, true, yeah.
this is a true thing that happens. And so when we talk about intoxicants, these days especially, it's not just alcohol. It's anything that takes away our rational, thinking, our sharpness of mind, where
or
we can't,
lack functioning,
yeah, where we really can't, it impairs our functioning.
티인디티네 다 티인디타티 베 개체모레스 티인디타도 제가 나 얘기했다 단다 하고 그러고 에딕션도 용거요래 이나 티게 고직다 담보디 고직 루 셈도 톡으로 요러와 셈도 톡 요레스 당신이 뭐 책으로 셈톡 톡도 하고 take off the mind out 티슈라 테네 코 physically 테네 야고 차고 말고 셈 야고 미나 physically 야고 차고 말와 테네 코 리셈니 코 destroy 하는 차는 요레스.
So this is really important to understand, and what can happen with these different, substances as we get attached and addicted to them, even though they have negative results. And so first, what can happen is that we lose our mind. They steal our awareness. And then when we lose our mental awareness, then we lose capacity to, be aware of everything that we're doing physically. And so with such, substances, then we lose our, the power to control our body and mind.
텐디 다 같은 직텐디 나로 메게바 카야메와 베게와 장장도 지야데 용구요 말이스 가두이나 코 메게징 텐도구요레스 메게와 가두이나서 게와도 메게 카야메와 용구요 말이스 메친디 나로
미세디 너나
뭔가서 게와 장장도 메게 카야메와 용투구요 말이스 impossible 와
right 가르즈나 퉁다 요레
네 돈나 요로
right. So in this life, it's impossible to be in a situation where, virtuous actions aren't beneficial and non-virtuous actions aren't non-beneficial or harmful.
No, so this so we award all the non-virtues, right? Completely award non-virtues.
It's impossible to always do the 10 virtues all the time and always
keep the virtues all 100%.
100% avoid
That's
all
no way.
non-virtues.
So no way, okay? Because we live here, so we mistakes, like whatever, so that's no way. But however, we thinking about which is worse. You wanting, like for example, intoxicant or this. So this kind of serious. So one thing is, okay, I'm not doing this one, even though somebody killed me, So that's you have like confident, determination. I said, ways other things you're doing, what sometimes enjoy, whatever, that's okay. But one thing you have to have, which is worse. One is, okay, no matter if somebody killed me, I'm not doing this. So otherwise, just kind of like obstacle comes, So the good things, the virtue-wise, come together is much harder, But these kind of like conditions, obstacles is just always there, with. So if you're really not confident or not like determination, and then your obstacles, you can take out the obstacles from. So that's why, so by saying yes, it's really not good things, so have to you decide like whatever determination, no matter whatever, not doing this. So that is like, I think important. So also this actually said also non-virtues and mistakes. It's not good, but you said that it's another good thing is one good thing there. Okay, even like mistakes and virtues. The good thing is you can purify, and the good things you can change. So that's good, So there's opportunities or be there, Even though you like, yes, these negatives or whatever, but always opportunities there. So that's you understand. So also I said before, so this is like your mistakes you can change, yourself. So I mistakes, I can change myself. So that's on one hand is very easy. So I said, so this rely on others. Your car is, problems within the mechanic, many things rely on maybe this not really good fix, or even the small physical things, they're problems, right? And sometimes mechanics say they also maybe they lie. Oh, your problem, this one, that's one, more money. So that situation is no need dealing. Also, one hand is you no need to pay for, right? So you fix yourself, or fix myself, or change myself, change yourself, is free and your own hand. So that is kind of like we have to understand it, So otherwise, I said rely on others. That's the difficulty, So change. So okay, so I think I'll stop here. So if you have some few questions, that's okay.
Is there a microphone?
Yeah.
Drupon, thank you for these teachings. In the jewel ornament of liberation, in the 13th chapter on moral ethics, it says to avoid untamed actions such as unnecessary running, jumping, and so forth. What does this mean? Why?
What they said?
It says impure actions of the body. Avoid untamed actions such as unnecessary running, jumping, and so forth. You should maintain pure actions smoothly and gently with a smiling face. So it's saying don't run or jump.
Right. So
And
this
so-
the Vinaya rule.
Yeah.
So Vinaya rule, so you can smile, you can laughing, but say you are laughing is not like a tiger laughing. That's wrong. Like ha 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 ha. So you don't do that. But either related or not. But and then some kind of you walk, just like jumping and So the big problems, right? So actually this title, like I thought, like remind Joe Biden, so he president, he just walk smooth, he's perfect, but he tried to run, then he fell down, so this is really shame. Really, actually, just why he still want to run, He's 80 years old, just oh, he's but I don't know. So that's kind of like, yeah. So just slowly walk, careful. That's okay. Who said use slow walk? Maybe nice. Slow walk. But anyway, so they said sometimes the street, this jumping or laughing or. So that's kind of they said don't do that. So they actually this monk's role. I think they know us. Getus also wearing the jewelries. And singing, so those kind of things. I think maybe that's part. I don't know exactly which.
There was one more also I was wondering about. It says, disrupting someone in calm abiding meditation or taking the provisions of a retreat practitioner and giving them to someone who says prayers. These are root downfalls which cause you to reborn in the great hell realms. So, taking provisions of a retreat practitioner and giving them to someone who says prayers.
So that's I don't understand.
Yeah, maybe a strange translation. Yeah, Pache.
To me, it's I don't know, it's just speculating, but someone who's in retreat, don't steal their things and give it to someone who's somehow just that being in retreat is more important than just
So did they say
reciting
this
prayer.
something
Sampa ki kala
Kumayama?
gumagyap na dene the Pache.
Yeah, this actually they said like a stealing. So stealing is like this. I said a different object and a different place. They said you stealing is the monasteries thing, even though small, or you not take care that during Buddha time, and then the some I think monks I know sure the pillars, you know, this monastery pillar, and then they put the snaps there and like, put deity, and then he just get sort of like I think occasional hell. So he tapped in the pillar. So then it's the kind of he just suffering of he holding the whole house. And some that's stealing the broom. This monastery is broom, and then he occasional hell, he tapped in the like a broom. So everybody using you. Then it looks like he's still suffering. His like body is using. So I don't know this related or not. But they said that sometimes there's interesting dharma too. I said yesterday, if you're really good condition, object, maybe subject or time, if you're really good, you know, like you may be singer, follower offering, you may achieve, you may achieve enlightenment. So good conditions. But also negative side, so like kind of bad conditions, you know. They said, you know, that like monasteries thing or those things, you just not really big deal. That's like I said, broom is just not maybe not much cost, you know. Maybe no pay attention, you know, just use. So that's the big consequence too. So I don't know this or not.
And then we have one on Zoom too, so you can, no, that's okay, you can go and then we can go to Zoom.
You were talking about conflicts in families, and sometimes they're very complex, right? And I would like to give an example, so maybe this is something that repeats very often. Hypothetically speaking, there is a mother that is very old, just 90 years old, and she has 5 surviving children, and she's being taken care by one of her daughters, which is single, never married. And this daughter has very bad relations with other 2 children, so she has exiled totally the other 2, and the mother doesn't hear, so she cannot talk to her children. And there's the 5th child that is not exiled, but it's not a perfect relationship. So how can the 5th child help the mother to have all the children together again? Because she cannot see them, she cannot talk to them, because and the daughter that takes care of her, she thinks she's doing the right thing, but she's not. So when people are very self-righteous and they think they're doing their best, but they're creating division, it's super difficult.
Okay.
So how would you approach that?
The Miguel tang mi tompo kikola.
Yeah, actually, this everywhere, I think. So yeah, this really is that, you know, so if you dare, so that's kind of in no way, but if those really somebody say you're doing this, you are wrong with never listening. So not working at all. So really is that something, you know, learning about karma cause effect and how is the, you know, I said, you know, the mother, how they connected child and also the sibling. So that's kind of, if you really look at that, you know, understanding about the Dharma, then we can change. Otherwise, sometimes those, actually these kind of situations, this lot. So really hard, but I don't know, we kind of, okay, you do this, but they're not listening.
Rinpoche, there's 2 questions on Zoom. Well, the first one is from Anne Danowitz. She's asking, if we eat meat or seafood, we are guilty of killing sentient beings. Is it true that we will suffer the karma from this?
Which is delicious, then it's more or less the karma.
Do you see if you get that, Anne? Less karma for more delicious?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's joke, I don't know. So what did she say? What said?
She said, if we eat meat or seafood, we are guilty of killing sentient beings. So will we suffer the karma from this? Or will we suffer the karma from this, correct?
Yeah, also I said this, the object is like a bit different. Like they said, like bigger animals, there's more karma because they're more suffering. Like they said, like horses, elephant, or cows, or whatever. Those are more like a bit negatives. But there, I don't know, you can seafood, so you can one shrimp. So maybe if you eat the seafood, maybe 10 shrimps and then 1 meat. So I don't know. So that's. But I don't know. So this actually are their negatives. But I said no way. So also, most important is that we practice Dharma. So if we practice Dharma well, then you take care of your bodies too. So your body is well, then you can Dharma practice well. So sometimes which is better for body. So I think, but this is I think both negative. They're not really free. So but we are, no matter we eat, there's negative. So. But I think this if one, you know, so one shrimp, one, you know, meat is a little bit more negatives, but we can one time we can afford cow, you know, so. But the small shrimps or this maybe less negatives maybe is to kill, but we cannot, you know, one piece, you know, so. But I think those car is, but mainly is the really is the press, and also which for sort of two, I said delicious, but which is fed to your body.
There was another question. This person was asking, to me, the Sambhogakaya represents pure generosity, such as the generosity of Chenrezig. I feel that pure generosity does not exist in the Dharmakaya because nothing exists in the Dharmakaya.
What's it?
Wait, come again?
So I think this question was, someone tried to ask this yesterday. So this is about generosity. So they said, to me, the Sambhogakaya represents pure generosity, such as the generosity of Chenrezig. I feel that pure generosity does not exist in the Dharmakaya because nothing exists in the Dharmakaya.
Okay, so your generosity is first exists. You have this object you have to give or offering, right? Okay. So then your motivation is put whatever Dharma, Sambhogakaya or Dharmakaya. Then yesterday we said, you what is the subject, no object, subject whatever you give, you know, $1 million. And then your giver is Theravada, yeah, 3 spheres. So that's become whatever Sambhogakaya or Dharmakaya. Okay. Yeah, that's actually basically is the inseparable. So everything Sambhogakaya, Dharmakaya, Dharmanakaya, I think, within the one. Okay, so we are dedication.
Okay, on page 24 of the prayer book. By the virtues collected in the 3 times by myself and all beings in samsara and nirvana, and by the innate root of virtue, may I and all beings quickly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious enlightenment. May the teachings of the great Drakumpa Ratnashri, who is omniscient, Lord of the Dharma, Master of interdependence, continue and increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation until the end of samsara.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I think do get some make. Yeah, we got a do.
Okay, thank you, everybody. We'll see you at 2 p.m. For the rest of the teachings. Thank you.
All around got cookies in the front. Cookies.
Yeah, I don't know where Preston is, and Steve just left, so I have to try to figure that out. And we should eat too. I don't know. So let's come up with a plan for that. He said he was. Yeah. I texted him yesterday, and then he said he's on his way now. And Steve just walked out, so I don't know. I talked to Steve this morning, and he said that he's open to it. But it seemed like, I don't know if he wanted to have lunch at home first and then come afterwards, or I'll call Steve. Yeah, I'll call Steve. We could. Yeah, we could do that. I just have to be back by a certain time in order to set things up. Let me call them both and see. I have one with the dozen. Hey, man. We're here. We just got finished with the morning session, so yeah. Okay, we'll see you soon. We're trying to figure that out now. Yeah. So Preston, we come up with a plan. I thought we could go to Panera Bread, but then we don't have to drive there. Or No, he just got here.
Ciao caro, come stai?
Yeah, I just got, Beverly. Or we could be, I mean, we don't need long.
No, we don't need long. That's what I was
We
thinking
could
about.
also do maybe 15 minutes real quick
And then
go
just
on
do our thing.
way
I
ourselves.
think that's one way to do it too.
Today.
You want to stay here?
Yeah, let's just do that. I think it's easier. Because then we gotta coordinate everything. And maybe that's a better thing. Let's just kind of hang out and talk. Make the
You want to
decisions.
stay here?
Yeah, let's just stay here. Or somewhere private. I think is better.
Well,
Because it's a bit of a confidential conversation.
yeah, go into the sun house and.
You need to grab
Oh, no,
Steve.
that's closed now. Yeah, I'll call Steve now.
Okay.
Something's gonna happen, you're gonna